Hello everybody, my name is Torimo. 28th episode of Sousou no Frieren. It would be embarrassing when we met again. In this final episode, I'm going to be talking about this finale and my general thoughts about the series as a whole. It's been exactly 1 week since Frieren ended its first season, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Frieren. This is the last episode of Sousou no Frieren. If you haven't watched it yet, you are simply insane. I beg of you, watch the show, please, even one episode. If you haven't, well, let's get into it. We start off where we ended the last time, with Fern telling Jori that she is Frieren's student, and Jori passing her. Next up, we have Denkin the Imperial Mage's interview. He was a self-made man who rose to power, but Jori wishes that she could have met him young. Jori feat. However, as he thought about fighting her, he passes. Next up, we have Ubel. Without a single word spoken between them, Jori passes her. And then we have Land. Jori reveals that Land had not stepped out of his home village this entire time and was operating through clones this entire time. He passes. We get Werble next. He realizes he can't beat her out of simple logic. When he asks for his favorite spells, he replies that magic is a tool for killing, neither liking or disliking spells. Pass. And finally, we have Mommy Method saying that Jori is small and cute. The tsundere Jori passes her. Denkin thanks Frieren for helping him pass, and the day passes. We see Fern deciding between some sweets, when suddenly, Laofen and Denkin come to pick up some sweets too. While having some snacks, Denkin reveals that he had wanted to aid his dying wife, but she had perished before Jori began offering spells. This entire thing for him was to gain access to her grave, to visit it once more. Frieren is carrying a load of books, and decides not to help an old lady when she sees Werble doing it. They have a quick conversation where Werble says he understood why Himmel did small-scale things and not just large-scale quests, as his village was destroyed. When Fern and compatriots go to receive some privileges, they find that out Jori had banned Frieren from entering any sites related to her for 1,000 years. Later into the night, Frieren is approached by the first mage Lernen. He can see the fluctuations in her mana and is not suited for this peaceful era. Lernen says that he does not want Jori to be alone in the future, even if that means killing Frieren. He breaks her shields with a black soul track and injures her. And then he requests a duel. Frieren refuses, of course. There is no need for him to go down in history. Jori will remember him. Despite her saying that it was a waste of time to train all those apprentices, she still remembers them and their favorite spells. She is truly a child. The next day, the party sets out to leave. We see how Stark had ingratiated himself in the hearts of the people there. Frieren asked what spell Fern received from Jori. She got a spell to clean clothes and make them smell nice. The legendary laundry magic! Jori asked if she was insane, though. Khan and Loin say their goodbyes, hoping to try again in 3 years. Fern comments on the quick goodbye, as with signing Craft. Himmel always said quick goodbyes, because he was sure he would meet those people again. After all, it would be embarrassing when they met again. We see everyone living their life, going on their way, and our heroes traveling on their way to their next adventure. The journey to end continues. Even if it didn't take quite as long as I thought it would, we finished the third and final test in this episode. As much as I wanted them to last longer, these were some really good moments. Denkin's up first, and he's the character that's always interested me a great deal. An old Imperial mage who should have all the power and influence he needs. And yet, we see him competing for certain privileges, probably one of the strongest mages to do so. Jori remarks upon this, saying that he thought about fighting her. Despite Denkin being in the later years of his life, he still impresses Jori enough for her to pass him. All he wants is to visit the grave of his wife, and he needed the privilege of being a first-class mage to do so. Next up, we have Ubel. Pass. Just like that. I would assume that Siri spent as little time as possible talking to Ubel as to not form a connection to her and let her learn her own spells. Also, she is the epitome of the type of mage that Siri wants, a bloodthirsty battler. Then we have Land. The audacity of this goober. He's been doing every single test from his home village. This man really got a girlfriend and passed all of his exams on Zoom. I really gotta respect that. Pass. Second to last, we got Warble. This dude is just a soldier. He doesn't care what magic he uses as long as it serves his purpose. A true utilitarian. Pass. And last up, we have Big Mommy Methode. She calls Siri small and cute, and the sooner that she is, Siri passes her as well. This seems to be the largest group of passers in the history of the association, and for good reason. There are so many talented mages here. The desires of mages are truly a nebulous thing. Siri, of course, wants magic to be in the hands of the strongest and most talented, yet she still trains students she sees as untalented. Hypocrite. The simplest wish here, for both Frieren and Fern, is to prosper and travel to Ende, where souls rest. Fern gains the privilege of being a first-class mage, and is spelled to do laundry. Simple. Next up, we have Dankin. We see through this episode, and the other ones throughout this arc, that he simply wants the privilege to visit his wife's grave once more. This is his stated goal, but we also see in his actions that he wants to experience the joy and connection of having children or grandchildren, which is why he spoils Laufin, Fern, and Stark so, and gives life advice to Richter. Then we have Werble. As an officer in the Northern Mage Corps, he wishes to protect the people from the evils of the world, be it demon or human. He was inspired in this when he experienced the carrying of Himmel to his village, as well as in the destruction of his village. In Kane and Loin, you don't really know as much, but we can assume that as young as they are, they simply want to challenge themselves and gain recognition for their achievements. Now, we have the tough cases. With Ubel, Land, and Methode, we don't actually know much of why they entered the test in the first place. With Ubel, it's easy to guess that she wants some spell from Siri that'll let her kill better. Power. Probably the same with Land, without the killing part. He seems so powerful already, so I can't guess what spell he asked for. Now, we don't know a lot about Methode. She's Mommy, the most mysterious character in the show, apparently. And lastly, not being in the testing group, but already a first-class mage, we have Lernin. He reminds me of Himmel. Maybe not too heroic, just smashing Frieren with an attack spell, or even asking for a duel. But he's similar in one way. He just doesn't want Siri to be alone in the future. This is exactly the sentiment that Himmel shares with Frieren. He serves as such a good contrast and similarity between Himmel and Frieren. But all these people are so incredibly interesting. I look forward to seeing them in the following seasons. Now, here comes the difficult part. As this is the last episode of Frieren, what can I possibly say about the series as a whole? I really don't know. It's good. It's great. It'll put the whole world on your plate. It's just really cool. Having read the manga for this entire season, as well as the next two arcs, didn't really have the same emotional impact as it might have had for first-time watchers. However, it still really hit hard. I love this so much, and I'm so happy that it received the recognition it has. This happens to be peak fantasy. Love it, love it, love it. Mwah. This has been Toreview, Sousou no Frieren. Hope you have enjoyed this series as much as I have enjoyed making it. I think I'll do an analysis video for Frieren's opening and endings, as well as a full review of the entire series in more depth. I really appreciate all of you for watching, each one until I've gotten where I am today. Thank you all so much. This has been Torimo Jori, and I'll see you later.